If you'll notice in the toolbar, there are tools that have little black triangles in the lower right corner. What that means is there are more tools hidden underneath that are associated with it. So you'll probably see this lasso, and if I click and hold the mouse button down, you will see 2 additional lasso tools. The regular lasso, the polygonal lasso, and what's being hidden here is the magnetic lasso. Let's start with regular lasso. It looks like the Western lasso. How many times can I say lasso? Okay, so with this tool, you simply click and freeform draw a selection, and I could then copy it, delete it. So let's press delete and see what happens. Everything inside the selection goes away. I'm going to undo that, and I could go to edit, undo clear, or I could have done Command Z on the keyboard. Now, that's a freeform lasso. Let's deselect. Command D or select deselect. Let's try the next tool, the polygonal. If you notice the difference, the lasso with the circular shape, it is a freeform drawing tool to select any shape you choose, whereas polygonal, it works in straight line segments. So click and drag, and it's going to come out in a straight line in whatever direction. I clicked and now I drag, so it's not allowing me the freedom of the regular lasso tool to go around shapes that have arcs. But if I had something that was very angular, the polygonal tool would make sense. And again, I could delete or Command Z to undo, or I could even copy what's inside of a selection. Command C or edit, copy, and you'll notice the shortcut here, Command C. And once I've copied something, I can paste. Now, paste is Command V or edit, paste, and again, here's the shortcut, Command V. And if you were working on your laptop using a PC as opposed to the Mac, instead of Command, you would use Control. Now, here we have that shape pasted in. I'm just going to go to Window and open Layers so I can see what I've done. So I pasted twice. Once I used the shortcut Command V to paste, and once I demonstrated using Edit Paste. So I pasted in twice, and I can see when I paste what I selected and copied, it goes to its own layer. So since I copied once but pasted twice, I have 2 layers with it. And I'm going to delete one of them. So while it's selected, I'm going to press the delete key, or I could come down to the bottom of the layers panel and click the trash can. Okay, and I don't think we really need that one either, so we're going to delete that as well. So all we have left is the layer with the dog, or the original photo, which you cannot see because I turned it off. I clicked the eyeball to turn it off, and now it's back on. So we've covered the lasso tool, which is more of a free form tool, polygonal, which is all angles, and now we have the magnetic lasso tool. With the magnetic lasso tool, it will automatically attach itself to the edge where there is high contrast, meaning lights and darks. So the more contrast, the easier it is for the computer to determine where the edge is. So as I'm dragging along, I'm not clicking anything. I'm literally just slowly dragging the mouse with the magnetic lasso, and it is automatically attaching at areas of high contrast. Now I'm at the bottom. What do? I'm going to click to force it to end there, and now drag it over, and it's getting a little messed up down there at the bottom. And now I'm going to slowly drag it up. What you will notice, though, is I really am lacking a selection of all the little furry details. So I might have to go back as I move the mouse, it's trying to figure out where to attach itself. So sometimes you might have to click to force it to attach if it doesn't automatically. And I'm going around and around, and I'm moving a little bit quickly, but you can see magnetic lasso attaches itself in areas of high contrast. And then back to the beginning. Now, if I didn't want to miss out on this area at the bottom that did not select, I could simply hold my shift key down. I can go back, say, to the regular lasso tool, or any selection tool for that matter, and I can simply go make a selection around the area that I missed, and notice it added to the selection. So if you see the cursor or the mouse, the lasso right now doesn't look like a lasso, it just looks like an arrow. When I hold the shift key down, it shows the lasso and a plus sign. That means I am adding to the selection. Holding shift lets you add to the selection. If I've added too much, let's say I don't want the tip of this ear selected, I can hold the Alt Option key. Notice there's a minus sign after the lasso, and I can click and surround the area I want to deselect. So now I'm going to lose the tip of the ear. If I wanted to go back and try to really be specific with this fur, I could hold shift and I could go back through and try to select some if I really wanted every last detail. Okay, again, once I've selected, I could delete. Oops, where'd the puppy go? Command Z to undo, or I could copy, Command C. I could paste, Command V, and look at that. Puppy is on a new layer. When you select something, you could even paste to a new document. So let me take us off of full screen by pressing F. Okay, and let's start a new file. Command N or Edit New. And I'm going to set it to inches, and I'm going to go 8 inches by 8 inches, 72 resolution, never below that. RGB, color mode, click OK. Now you see I have 2 file tabs here. If I press F to go full screen, of course I see nothing else. But if I click on the tab and drag it so it's side by side, now I do see the background, but I also am able to see both files. And the beauty of that is that I can go back and forth from one file to the next. But I do recommend, if you're doing this, just click in the lower right corner to resize your windows so that you do have a full screen mode and it's not so confusing. You do still see the desktop over here on the right, but that's not too bad. So where we were, we had just copied the puppy. Now I'm going to click on this new file to activate it, and I'm going to paste it. Command V, or I could have gone to Edit Paste. So now I have 2 layers with the dog. I'll delete one, backspace delete. There we have it. Now I could move it around. I could resize it. To resize, you would use your transform tool. Command T allows you to get these handles in the corners so you can make changes. Or you could have gone to Edit, Free Transform, or Transform and be specific as its size, rotation, or skewing, whatever you wanted to do. So I'm just going to do the Command T, Free Transform, and I can click and resize freely, or I can hold Shift down when I click to resize and it stays in proportion. Now, either I accept the change or I don't accept it. I can click the check to accept it, or I can just press return on my keyboard, or I can click, of course, this cancel, and it will put that layer size back to its original, but I will keep it. And that's it for lassos.